the 11th, 2022. We're glad you joined us here tonight. Tonight we'll be talking, making comments on comments that get sent in. We do a lot of material on creation versus evolution. We believe the Bible is literally true and scientifically accurate. God made everything in 6 days. He said so in the Ten Commandments. He wrote it on a rock with his finger. Moses then later broke the rock, had to make another one. But yeah, he made it all in 6 days, just like he said, Exodus 31. We think evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religious hypothesis ever in the world. It's a mental illness to teach you came from when a grown man dreams he's related to a worm, a fern, and a frog, which all came from a dot, which came from a dot of nothing exploding. It's time to get serious. Help. The guy's in trouble, okay? When a grown man dreams a T-Rex turned into a chicken, he's in trouble. Time to get him some help. Okay, we had a debate last night with David, and we have another coming up this Thursday night. Tonight, comments on comments. Next Friday, 18th, will be a debate with Wade Williams, and then another one Friday after that with Mark Drysdale. A couple coming up in March. Let's see, there's Wade Williams going to be debating next Friday night, and there's Mark Drysdale. We've talked a couple times before. Emo, I don't know who he is. And let's see, Tom Jump, I debated once or twice before. And James, we debate him on March 11th. So April Fool's Day, ideal day for you atheists to come in and try to defend your religion. And Memorial Day, remember, we'll give you equal time. I want equal time to defend your religion of evolution. We think it's a religion and we think it's dumb, okay? 4th of July, you can set up a date. Come take a tour. We have 2 to get baptized after Bible study tonight, Lord willing. So come on down, give your heart to the Lord. We have a science center and 140 acres of cool stuff to do. We'll give you guys the tour tomorrow. It's amazing around here. 16 lakes and ponds to fish or swim in. Really cool. And there's most of our buildings are down in this corner of the property. There it is right there. A bunch of our cabins. We have 20 cabin spaces. What cabin did they put you guys in?
13.
What? 13 down at the lake. Okay, yeah, good. Come to our 12,000 square foot science center. Damien, you like giving tours of that place? It's fun, isn't it? It's just amazing. God's creation is so cool. Come eat in our new dining hall. Been open for a couple months. And we got a lot of cool stuff to see around here. Get our video series on creation versus evolution, 18 hours for the whole thing, $50. 18 hours, $50 for the whole thing. And get a series on what on earth is about to happen. Whoa, we're headed for trouble. I think it's starting now. We shall see about this tribulation time. It's coming. Okay, comments on comments. Somebody commented last night, when the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. Socrates said, we had a clear loser tonight. I agree, redefine living. And when they start to slander you, they go off track. There's supposed to be no ad hominem. That's a clear sign they're losing the debate. I'll show you a classic example in just a minute of one that clear loser, but thinks he won and does nothing but slander. So we'll have to take that on again sometime. Okay, Red Fox right in. David was again horrible. Imbecility at its worst, at its finest, or worst, I'm not sure. This is an example of atheist leadership, then surely they should just stop and bury this theory. This is ridiculous. David cannot even speak clearly. He needs to drill out his nasal cavity, enunciate, and eat some nutrients so his body can hit puberty. I'm sorry, I didn't read that one first. I just grabbed some comments. Okay. LOL. What's worse is Aaron Ra trained him. In karate, if the recruit is a failure, then the grandmaster is also a failure. I'll refrain from comment on that. Okay. Let's see. Poor old Kent just can't give a straight answer. It just boils down to God said he'd done it, and it's too complicated for Kent to understand. I wish it would help if he was a scientist. Well, Fondell Hissock, why don't you call Standing for Truth and schedule a debate and show people how smart you are and how dumb I am? I'll be glad to do that for you. Let's see. Professor Dave absolutely destroyed you, somebody said. Really? When I was in my 20s, I thought I knew everything too. Today, I'm not so sure. They call it the Dunning-Kruger effect. According to that effect, I think it's should be safe to say when you're way younger than 30 years old. True. What about Bill Ludlow and Aaron Ra? I'll debate all those guys again, but equal time and no interrupting. Aaron Ra can't do that. So Standing for Truth can moderate it, shut his mic off, and shut his picture off if you want to. When it's my turn to talk, I want to answer in one topic at a time. Mr. Nelson, let's see. When they were 30, they were each way over 30 debating Hovind, so you're blaming it on people's age is possibly the weakest argument, attempting to save Hovind's face. Fair win? Call him up. I'll take you on too. Nothing to worry about. Let's see. Nick writes in, yep, and Kent put Dave all back together then. Hopefully he can find his way. Well, I wondered what are they talking about. So I Googled Kent Hovind and Professor Dave. About 2 years ago, I did a debate with him, and he labeled it, Professor Dave Destroys Kent Hovind. You should watch the debate for yourself and make your own decision. That's got 1.7 million views. Thank you, Dave, for advertising the creation story. I think I slaughtered you in that debate, and I'll do it again sweetly in Christian love. If you call 855-BIG-DINO, extension 3, we can schedule it, or Standing for Truth. It'd be a neutral platform, we can do it. Then it says, a challenge for Mr. Hovind. Wow, from a year ago. So I did 2 Whack an Atheist on Professor Dave, one about a year ago and one about 5 months ago on Professor Dave. He thinks he slaughtered me. Let's see, what did he say? Professor Dave destroys Kent Hovind. Well, let's just watch a few minutes of that and see what you think. Let's see, right here. Audio ready to go?
Yep. Modern Day Debates reached out to me after seeing those to see if I wanted to come on the channel and debate a guy named Kent Hovind about young earth creationism versus evolution. So I looked up who this guy is, and turns out he's this like slimy car salesman.
Now, Dave, this is an ad hominem attack. You're supposed to debate the topic, okay? You looked me up and I'm a slimy car salesman?
Kind of a guy. Introduces himself as Dr. Kent Hovind and claims to have multiple doctorates, has no degrees of any kind.
David, that is not true. I worked hard for my degrees. They're from a Christian college. That's true. And it's not accredited. That's true. That's nothing to be ashamed of. But if you don't like it, that's fine. But I do have degrees. Bachelor's, master's, 3 earned doctorates, and 1 honorary doctorate. Dave, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Too bad, okay?
Not even a bachelor's degree. Claims to have taught high school science for 15 years. Never taught in any school.
Dave, you're lying. I taught high school science and mathematics for 15 years. Algebra, geometry, trig, earth science, biology, physical science. And if you can stick on the topic, I did teach those in Christian schools. So I taught. Went to school every morning, worked all day. You can ask the students I had as students. They loved my teaching. We had all kinds of, they really learned science, real science, not this evolution propaganda, real science. But Dave, stop lying about me. I did teach high school science, 15 years, and math, okay?
Basically homeschooled some kids into church.
No, we didn't homeschool kids in the church. We had Christian school. I taught in Illinois and California and Texas. I taught high school, Dave, whether you like it or not.
I actually went to jail for tax evasion for 10
years. See, Dave, all of this is ad hominem. And I did not go to jail for tax evasion. I went to jail for structuring. And watch the YouTube channel, KentHovinDisInnocent.net. I did not break any laws. Half the Bible's written from prison. A lot of people all through history have gone to prison or been killed because some dictator, some evil ruler. Take a look what happened in Germany with all the Jews that got killed. Were they guilty of something? They went to prison. But it's off topic, Dave. Where's the evidence for evolution? That's what I want to see.
10 years. So this guy is like a major scumbag. So
a major scumbag. How long have you been watching my videos? Yeah. Since the 90s. How did you guys hear about us? How long ago have you? Yeah, after you got saved. Major scumbag. How well do you know me? Am I a scumbag? Okay. Dave, I'm sorry. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I don't know anything about you and your personal life. I don't care. Your theology on evolution is dumb. There is no evidence for evolution. You're a great teacher in other sciences, Dave, but you're wrong about evolution. It didn't happen. Wrong. I'll show you in a minute.
So naturally, I wanted to kind of take a bite out of this guy. So I looked up a lot of his debates, and it turns out he just has the exact same ridiculous talking points. They're all either flat out.
Same talking point. Dave, truth doesn't change, okay? I bet when you teach a topic on the laws of thermodynamics, you teach it the same thing every time you talk to a new group, don't you? Because truth doesn't change. So no, you got it wrong. I'm sorry, Dave. Okay.
Lies, or at the very least, just total misrepresentations of science.
So everything I say is lies or misrepresentations. Dave, you are desperate, okay? Let's take them one at a time. One at a time. Show me the top 3 lies that you think I teach, Dave. I'd like to see that. Can they hear it okay out there, Damien? When I play it, it's not real loud to me here, but okay.
It popped up online, but I can increase the volume here if you want.
For me, okay. Anyway, let's let Dave talk for a minute, and we're going to go to comments. Let's see.
He both does not understand science.
I don't understand science. Dave, science is what we know. The word comes from the Latin word "ser," which means to know. What do we know? We know dogs produce dogs. We know that. We do not know dogs and bananas have a common ancestor like you believe. That's your religion, Dave. You believe in evolution. We know dogs produce dogs. That we know. That's science. Evolution is not science. It's a religion.
And misrepresents it deliberately. This is how he makes a living. He lies and he brings in donations that way. So
I make a living by lying and bringing in donations. Dave, if you're teaching evolution, you are lying to the people you talk to. Okay, it's a lie. Evolution didn't happen. Nothing. There's no evidence for it. There is no geologic column. There is no fossil record. There's no evidence of any animal ever producing a different kind of offspring. But you believe an amoeba turned into a whale, don't you, Dave? That is a lie. So you're the one lying.
I decided I wanted to do it. I want to make it clear that I don't attack religious people.
What did you just do for the last minute and 14 seconds? I've been a Baptist preacher 47 years. Okay.
This way, normally, I saw from the debates how much he dodges direct questions and how he just changes the subject.
Watch the debate yourself and tell me where I did that, Dave. I didn't dodge any questions. What question do you have? What did I change the subject? I just want to try to keep you guys nailed down on one topic at a time. You're the ones that are slimy trying to get off on everything else when I nail you down. Dave, simple question. If the top layer of the geologic column is younger, where did it come from? How could it possibly be younger? Did it come from outer space? All the layers are the same age. Dave, explain how the layers of the geologic column can be different ages. Where are they coming from? Moving it from point A to point B does not make it a different age. Explain that. And then explain where is the best evidence of any animal or plant ever producing offspring other than its kind. Give me the best evidence you got. When he knows that he does not have the ability to discuss any the science at that moment. So I knew I was going to have to bully him around a bit. And again, I do not do this to religious people normally, okay? This guy is a con man that lies to people for money. I would never go and attack someone's religion this way normally. So I just wanted to offer that up front. I definitely was very aggressive in this. I didn't do quite as well as I'd hoped. I'll chalk it up to lack of experience. He definitely... Why don't you chalk it up to believing a dumb theory, David? You're trying to defend a dumb theory. You're trying to defend 2 + 2 is 5. They're never going to defend that. It's wrong. You're trying to defend the idea that we all came from a dot of nothing. That's dumb, Dave. That's dumb. Change your theory.
Every time I would demolish one of his points, he would just... He's like a greased pig. You pin him and then he just squeals and like squirms out of the corner. He evades direct questions. I mean, he's got a script he's been running for about 30 years, and this is what this guy does, and this is how he earns a living. And he apparently 10 years in jail he didn't learn his lesson, and he's still doing the same crap. So anyway, this may or may not interest you. It's about debunking young Earth creationism. And there are definitely some good moments in here. There are definitely some fun moments. So give it a watch. See if you enjoy it. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so a lot of comments on this YouTube thing that Dave did. You can watch the thing. I encourage you to watch it. I think I've slaughtered him bad. Let's see, where's it at? Right here, back to where I was. Yeah, okay. It's on his channel. No, I got it. Let's see. On his channel, it's called Professor Dave Explains. Professor Dave destroys Kent Hovind, Young Earth Creationism Debunked. Well, y'all watch it and make your comments. See what you think. I did whack an atheist twice on him, and I'll do it again gladly, Dave, if you need it, or debate you live. Call Standing for Truth. So I commented on his channel. Hey, Dave, Happy New Year. Just a month ago. Call 855-BIG-DINO, extension 1, to schedule another debate. As this debate clearly shows, when it's my turn to talk, your mic must be shut off for our next debate. You go first and present the best evidence for evolution, and I get equal time to rebut, but next time, no interruptions, Dave. That's how you get everybody confused. No, shut your mic off. Do it for Standing for Truth. They will shut your mic off, Dave, okay? Then we'll see how well you do. You're the one squirming out. Let's see. Then you give your next best evidence, and number 5, I rebut. Number 6, third best, if you like. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox. I will give you the tour and show you how real science works. I'm praying for you. I commented again a year ago. Craig Ventnor did not create synthetic life at 56 minutes. You said that. They created life. No, he didn't. He moved already existing, incredibly complex DNA code to a new location. If I took an engine out of a jet and put it into a Volkswagen, did that create life? No. I took an already existing engine and put it into a new vehicle. They took DNA out of one cell and put it into another cell. They didn't make life. Dave, stop. Okay, stop teaching people that stuff. Anyway, now to restate the obvious, if a bunch of intelligent people ever do create life, that would only prove it takes intelligence to make life. It certainly would not prove life created itself from soup, which came from a rock, which is what you believe. And he talks in there about clades. He said, yes, they're always in the same, they can never leave their clade. Well, a clade is a group of animals that have a common ancestor, a group of organisms believed to have evolved from a common ancestor. Well, the Bible says they bring forth after their kind. Where's that? Seminar 7, slide 2339. Let me get over to that one. Seminar 7, Alt-DV, slide 2339. Security alert. What am I doing here? There. 2339. I think I got it. Was Jonah swallowed by a fish or a whale? We'll get into the clade thing here. It says in Jonah, chapter 1, the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah. And Jonah was in the fish 3 days and 3 nights. Jonah chapter 2, Jonah prayed unto the Lord his God out of the fish's belly. When you read the story in Matthew 12, for Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly. So shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The biblical classification system has a whale as a fish in the fish category. Okay? Carolus Linnaeus made up our classification system. Dave, this goes to your clade idea. In 1758, History of Taxonomy. He made up a system of classifying things. Just remember King Philip came over for Girl Scouts. It stands for Kingdom, Phylum, Class, Order, Family, Genus, Species. Quick way to memorize it, okay? Phylogenetic tree is a diagram that represents evolutionary relationships among organisms. How do you know they're related? They draw these trees all the time in the textbooks, and they got everything related back to a common ancestor. Look at this one. Everything came back from an amoeba. This is common teaching at all the public schools. They draw these trees as if it's supposed to mean something. Evolution, life on Earth is one big extended family. This is pure propaganda, and it is not true. It is a lie. It is stupid, okay? Family portrait. There we got Homo sapien and non-throwers, Homo erectus. They got everything going back to a common ancestor. You don't know any of this. This is not science. Here they label them. The humans and the birds and the reptiles and the seaweed all have a common ancestor. How many did not know you were related to seaweed before? Yeah, it's important, okay? Well, some are difficult to classify. Manito del Monte is the sole survivor of the superorder Australidadelphia. Kingdom, Phylum, Class. It's the only one in its whole order. Nothing else like that. How about this guy? The Spirula, the only survivor of the order. Not just the species, that's the only one in the order. Kingdom, Phylum, Class, Order, Family. The II, the only survivor of the family. The II. How about the banded hair wallaby? The only member of the subfamily, right there. How about the, the cheetah? It's the only existing member of the genus. No more. See, classifying things, Dave, is a very arbitrary thing. I'll give you an example. Suppose I wanted to classify a deck of cards. All right, I'm going to organize these and classify them. Where should the 2 of clubs be classified? Well, if I put it with the clubs, it would be classified this way, wouldn't it? Or what if I put it with the face cards compared to the numbered cards? Well, now it's classified differently, isn't it? Has the 2 of clubs moved? No, I decided to classify it a different way. How about we put it with the even numbered cards? Well, now the 2 of clubs and the 2 of hearts go together. How about if I classify it with a prime number, 2, 3, 5, 7, etc.? Well, now it no longer goes with the 4. It used to go with the 4. Now it's not with the 4 anymore. Because the 2 didn't change. We changed the way we're going to classify it. Let's see. How about with the Fibonacci numbers? Yeah, 2, 3, 5, 7, etc. Well, now it's in a different category. If we decide to divide the deck by the highest value in a game of poker, the 2 of clubs is valued as the least valuable. Well, now it's classified a different way. Where should the 2 of clubs be classified? Well, it depends. I don't think the 2 of clubs cares where we humans decide to classify it. So where should it be classified? It's a 2 of clubs. Duh. If we classify by animals by where they live, then the whale is with the fish category, isn't it? Should they be classified by where they live? Killer whale, sea animals, lives in the, it's with the fish. Look at this. If we classify it by how they breathe, well, now it's not with the fish category, because whales breathe up in the air above the water and fish breathe in the water. How are we going to classify it? If we classify animals by how they see, it is not classified with the fish. Whale eyes are located on the sides of their head. This is roughly the opposite of our own visual system. We have 2 eyes facing forward with a ton of visual overlap. Whales don't have that. Let's see. Because both eyes work together, fish can very accurately see objects directly in front of them. And at some point in front of a fish, both eyes can pick up the object. Well, whales can't do that. Many sharks have eyes on the sides of their head that don't allow for stereo vision. So sharks and whales have eyes that are similar. And sharks are in the fish category, and whales are not. Whales tend to rely more on their sense of hearing, touch, and echolocation, since their sight is compromised. Still, they do have eyes and are certainly able to use them. So where should the whale be classified? In the biblical classification system, a whale is in the fish category. I doubt that the whale cares what we think about it. I don't think he cares at all, okay? So you guys make a big deal out of our modern classification system as if that is supposed to mean something. Dave, it's something somebody made up first. It's just a convenience. Where does the 2 of clubs get classified? With the clubs, with the numbered cards, with the even cards? You can classify it any way you want. Let me go to one more here, 410, right here, Alt-DV, 410, and we'll quit for the night, okay? There are lots of different kinds of corn, and they have decided to classify them all as corn. Let's see, 12,000 species of corn. Now, they might have had a common ancestor called corn. There is the glass gem corn. They said we got some of that around here. We got to plant that. That is cool. There's red corn, black corn, popcorn. Whoa. There's all kinds of different corn, and they come from maize, I would agree, and that's as far as it goes. It's never going to turn to a whale, never. And Dave, you and your evolutionist buddies think corn is related to whales, don't you? If you go back millions, hundreds of millions of years, yeah. This is dumb, Dave. You can draw lines on paper and say, wow, the grass and the octopus have a common ancestor. You can believe that if you want. Just because you can draw lines on paper making a graph showing the grass and the lion and there's the whale. Oh, look at that. Wow. And the dinosaurs. Yeah, everybody can see whales and dinosaurs and lions. It's very much alike. Yeah, they all live in the water except for the dinosaur and the lion. Okay. And the humans, there we are. Okay. Have a common ancestor. This is propaganda. This is not science. So somebody made comment that Professor Dave destroyed me. Well, bring it on again, Dave. I don't think I got destroyed. Everybody watch it for yourself. See what you think. 6 types of corn might have had a common ancestor. 200 varieties of wheat might have had a common ancestor called wheat. 4,000 varieties of potatoes might have had a common ancestor, a potato. 330 some breeds of dogs might have had a common ancestor called a dog. It's not evolution. I accept the fact there's lots of different kinds of dogs, and they probably had a common ancestor called a dog. I don't know how you guys can't get it. The Bible says they'll bring forth after their kind. 10 times in the first chapter. Bring forth after their kind. That's all that's ever happened, Dave. Darwin wrote a book about the origin of species. There's never been a good definition of species either. We covered that last night in the debate with Dave. Tried to get him. I don't think he understood it. So I'll say it again slowly. This is to P.C. Myers. Showing that there are hundreds of varieties of corn or dogs, or potatoes, or whales or lions, does not prove that they all have a common ancestor, which was an amoeba. It doesn't prove any such thing. So I think the comments would say, Dave, if you think Dave destroyed me, I disagree, and I'm willing to do it again. If he did destroy me, let him do it again publicly in front of everybody, but no interrupting, No cursing, no swearing. Neutral moderator. Shut your mic off when it's my turn to talk and shut mine off when it's your turn. I won't interrupt you. Watch my debate with Dave. I'm a gentleman. I let him talk. Okay, any questions or comments here? Okay, Kent, were all volcanic layers erupted at exactly the same time? No, but the stuff coming out of the earth, landing on top, is the same recycled material. Is it a different age? You probably could date the age of the volcanic layers when they were laid down, but that's not the age of the material, okay? So all volcanic layers, volcanoes erupt all the time, right? Ken, do you think Christians should use God's name? The original name appears 7,000 times in early manuscripts, was replaced by Lord in most translations. This goes back to an interesting topic. Which Bible is correct? I covered that on video number 7, why I use the King James. The King James uses the word Lord God, capital L, capital G. Sometimes it's all capitals, capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D. There's a distinction in there in how they spelled it, with all caps or single cap. There's a long article on that on avpublications.com, AV for authorized version. So I'd be very cautious about saying, well, in the original manuscript, nobody's seen these original manuscripts for a long time. And what they're probably talking about is the Alexandrian manuscript, the corrupt one. So be very careful about that. Check out video number 7, Why King James, or avpublications.com. Okay? How often should we pray? The Bible says pray without ceasing. I don't know how to do that, but constantly be in an attitude of fellowship with God. I think it's like if you're happily married, you constantly, and you don't have to constantly be talking, but there's that bond there, the fellowship. You feel as one, so it's that way with God. I talk to him many times a day. Hey, Lord, help me with this. Or, you should maybe set aside a time where you actually stop all the distractions and focus on prayer. But it's more to me anyway he's my dad, treat him like my dad. Okay. The question is, the tracker thing that happened could be related to the Bible. What are they talking about there?
Talking about a trucker protest there.
Oh, trucker.
Cities in Canada right now.
It says evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse. In my video series on what on earth is about to happen, I covered that I think there various things will happen, like you won't be able to buy or sell without a mark, just like it says in Revelation. You can see that coming like a freight train, can't you? All the stores are getting set up where you got to have little codes, barcodes on everything, and the barcode in your hand coming soon. Watch out for that, okay? Yeah, so yes, I don't know if the trucker thing in Canada is related to the Bible or not, but go ahead. That's it. Okay, other questions from here? Okay, let's see. Is Stefante here? And you drove all the way down here and want to get baptized? Yep. After Bible study here tonight, we'll do that. Cabin 7. And you too? All right. You guys go and you too? All right. You guys go get some clothes to change into and meet up at my place in about 5 minutes. All right. Thanks for joining us. Sunday morning, we'll be back on a Bible study on a different topic of different religions. Why I'm not one of these. We'll talk about that Sunday morning. See you then. Bye-bye.